on what is a gorgeous Thursday afternoon in the big city. Number to join as always, 888-808-1019. Got a great show for you today. Good afternoon, Big Mac. How are you today, kid?
I'm doing well, Craig. Yeah, beautiful. I actually rolled down the window on the car.
Look at you.
How about that?
Look at you.
It was nice enough to roll the window down.
35 degrees. Feels like it's summertime, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, still snow on the ground, though. Still slush.
Well.
Still wearing my galoshes coming into work today. And I did not think, to be honest, that when I came into work today, which I do the podcast earlier in the day, I'm in the city from about 8 o'clock in the morning on.
Very busy man.
It was not on my bingo card today that one of the opens of today's show might be how much of a freak that Steve Tish really is. I didn't see that one coming. I thought maybe the 3 million emails that came out on January 30th and that lousy statement of his saying, we discuss things other than just hot women that I want to have sex with. We discuss philanthropy and we discuss investments. And now it turns out you're just a snake in the grass freak. That's all he is, Steve Tish. And I'm trying to figure out, the Giants have to this day not commented on any of that stuff. The NFL kind of brushed it off at the Super Bowl, Roger Goodell did. And I think a lot of people just assumed, there'd be another big story, a big day, and we would forget that one of the owners of the Giants is a freak in the sheets. But now more emails have come out, and now that statement that he made back on January 30th looks even worse because now he's just bold-faced lying to people publicly about the relationship he did have, not alleged to have, did have with Jeffrey Epstein has now gotten worse. Now, the Tish family, nice people. I know Jonathan Tish well, used to know him well, haven't talked to him in a while. It's time to tell Steve Tish, you gots to go. It's time for the Koch family to tell the Tish family, he's gots to go. It's time for the Mara family to tell the Fish family, he's gots to go. Steve Tish is now a problem, a real problem for the New York Giants because you cannot write off what happened or allegedly happened with that lousy statement he made back on January 30th, right?
No.
Because now we recognize that the relationship was a lot deeper than what he alleged that it was.
100%. And, I mean, the Giants have been on record saying a statement's not coming. I don't know how that's possible. Well, did they say that today, or was that back?
In
the story, it said that the Giants have
were reached for comment?
Not for this story, but the Giants have publicly said do not expect another comment from the Giants.
But that was based on
the last email. No,
the original stuff.
That's what I'm saying,
right.
yeah. So, now they're going to have to, that's what I'm saying. This now, how can they continue to not say anything? And you're right. I mean, these emails, whenever you have Jeffrey Epstein emailing you, that it's very nice to have a like-minded friend, that's not what you want to hear.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And as the email
association problem, that's a problem.
It's just it's nice to have a like-minded friend through thousands of emails. Give me a number. I don't like these. I don't like this. I don't like this being on written where people can find it.
Oops.
It's oops.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Then obviously he's also, if you read the emails that were released today, and The Athletic did a good job kind of compartmentalizing all of it and presenting it in a really easily digestible manner. But it's also he wanted the girl with the 10 ass.
Yes.
That's in the email.
Yes.
You can't deny that was written. We can all read it. So I think the Giants have a real problem on their hands. It's not football related at all. So you do have to separate the two. Look, I think Jonathan Tish will be a fine. Look, he's already a co-chairman of the Giants anyway. And I think Jonathan Tish is what I know about him. I've spent time with him. I think he's above reproach. I hope that he is. But Steve Tish has to go. And the New York Giants have to make an announcement or that Steve Tish is no longer affiliated in any active role with your football team. This, and I don't quite understand why this is a non-story for a lot of people. This would be the biggest scandal for a New York team owner since the Wilpons and Madoff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many other big scandals, there are historically with owners of New York sports team. So if you take the Wilpons with Madoff as a major one, obviously,
right,
and they retain their ownership and, they ultimately financially were made whole and figured it all out, but obviously they were in deep with Madoff. Well, this, while a lot different than the Madoff situation, obviously because of the amount of victims financially, this is bad, man.
This is extremely bad.
This is front page story bad with one of our two most storied franchises in this town. The New York Yankees and the New York Giants. And while we may have some laughs around it, it's obviously not a laughing matter. No. And the statement that Steve Tish put out back in January, I said it that day to you,
I think
was
we all
brutal,
agreed. Brutal
and unbelievable that a billionaire with the best PR team in the world, put out such a dopey, lousy statement. And now, 2 weeks later, that statement has been proven to be a complete farce and a lie. And now the New York Giants do have to do something. I'm sorry. The New York Giants can't hide behind, it's not a football matter. It's not a Giant matter. It is a Giant matter. The New York Giants are a public trust. Millions of Giant fans now deserve to know that one of the people in charge of Giants football was not best friends with a pedophile. I mean, that has to be obvious, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong about that?
No, I think you're 100% right.
And this is not football. This is not picking on the Giants. This is about one of the faces of your organization has now lied directly to you with the statement he put out a couple weeks ago. And the more that these emails come out, the more ugly it looks and the more deeply involved it appears to be that he is. But the one you read is the action one.
Yeah.
The one you read where he says, nice to be with like-minded people.
That's
like, I don't need to infer a damn thing beyond what that means. Steve Tish has to announce that he's no longer involved with the New York Giants. The New York Giants have to announce Steve Tish is no longer involved. I guess you could promote Jonathan Tisch, who's already a co-chairman anyway. There are other Tishes, I'm sure, that could replace him, but he's got to go.
Pam Bondi is being asked whether or not they should continue to look into him criminally.
Right.
Like, that's, I mean.
And I assume the answer is yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean.
Right? And not just him, all the people that had that type of relationship.
No,
look, he was using Jeffrey Epstein, according to the emails, as a pimp.
Yeah.
That's not up for debate. Now, we're going to find out the age of the women at some point. There's still no allegations that he was into underage girls. I suppose that's a positive in this story. But the owner of one of the most important sports franchises in New York is now in bed with a pedophile and sex trafficker. Period. Stop. How that's not like dominating the conversation today.
It's gone away.
Is mind-boggling.
It went the entire week of the Super Bowl, and this is the problem with it. And was my main problem with his initial statement. It didn't hit on the scope of what he's dealing with.
Right.
And it's going to continue to come out. We're going to see more emails. There's congressional hearings. Like, this is not going anywhere.
No.
And it's whatever we all may think of it, it's hard to envision the owner of the New York Giants being associated with this at this level.
I agree. And I was trying to think like other scandals with New York owners. Obviously, George Steinbrenner had his scandals with the Harry Spear and the Dave Winfield stuff and all that nonsense. And by the way, George Steinbrenner was suspended. But now, we all think he was pulling some strings behind the scenes, but his suspension might also have been the greatest thing that ever happened to the New York Yankees. Hello, Gene Michael, et cetera, et cetera.
A dynasty was built.
Yeah, but so we have seen owners in this town take it on the chin. George Steinbrenner, for one. Now, he survived it. Obviously, suspension lifted, comes back, and has a great, 30-year run after that. Great, all good. The Wilpons, right there with the Bernie Madoff stuff, right? Intimately involved with the Madoff nonsense. And now you've got this. No one is better than the other one. But we've had scandals with our owners before. This is the first time I can remember, Big Mac, a legitimate scandal, not up for debate. It is what it is. I think we've all read the emails now. We know what the accusations are. But I think this is the first time where it appears, and maybe we've changed, I don't know. But what you said a minute ago is right. We buried it. Like, it's like for the last 2 weeks, everyone totally forgot that the owner of the New York Giants was good friends with a sex trafficking pedophile. Like, we just decided to forget that. Oh, well, we're distracted by the Super Bowl. Oh, we're distracted by pitchers and catchers showing up. Why are we distracted when the guy that is one of the 2 or 3 faces as an owner, because of the New York Giants, is now intimately involved in a bad way with one of the worst human beings to ever grace the planet? Like, I'm not putting that under the carpet. That's an everyday story until we hear from Steve Tish. He's interviewed on the record, maybe by the feds, I don't know. And the New York Giants recognize that him being involved is bad for business. To pretend for a second you're a company that advertises with the New York Giants. And someone says to you, hey, by the way, Big Mac, are we still writing that check to the New York Giants to be the official whatever drink of the New York Giants? And you say, well, why wouldn't we? And your salesperson says, oh, you should probably check the internet. One of the owners was hanging out, not just hanging out.
No.
Was, intimately involved
funneled women.
with Jeffrey Epstein. You might say as the owner, well, we got to do something about that now.
Right.
Because we're going to lose money. Because I'm not advertising my product with you.
Right.
I tell you what I would do about it, right? So we got that. And then, of course, we have something today that puts a big fat smile on my big fat face. And that is a little something you and I like to call a Knick basketball. And why I'm always the voice of reason with the Knicks. And while you panicked a little bit,
not
just
panicking,
a little bit.
I just want to acknowledge when they play poorly. I don't want to just, today is a day to talk about how well they played, how they took over the crowd in Philadelphia.
By the way, Philadelphia is now becoming the sixth borough of New York.
That was
we own
embarrassing.
Philadelphia.
That was embarrassing.
Yes.
As Alvarado's putting up 3 after 3, and the crowd is going crazy. Yes, it was embarrassing. I just want to, all I'm saying is when we acknowledge today, it's also worthy of acknowledging yesterday.
The Indiana Pacers.
Yes.
I acknowledge it.
Okay.
I didn't overreact to it.
All right, so let's not overreact to today.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I got no basketball
That's
until
what I
Thursday.
thought. Yeah, okay.
The New York Knicks have a week off, a well-deserved week off. They went into Philadelphia. Joel Embiid's scared to death of playing against Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns, so he sits one out, suspend his ass too for sitting out the game because he's actually playing really good basketball. When he's been playing, I think he's missed 3 straight games now. And the Knicks said to everybody, oh, you think that we're concerned because we lost in overtime to the Pacers in our own building? Watch what we do against the Sixers. The Sixers are done. The New York Knicks beat them by 50 last night in Philadelphia. And yet again, you saw too, Knicks fans taking over that building in Philadelphia. So I'd say this. I forget who the Staten Island borough president is these days. I forget. It's a new one.
Okay.
Right? But whoever that man or woman is, I know there's been a lot of talk that you guys want to secede from being a borough of New York City. I would say not to. I love Staten Island.
Right.
But if you want out, we already got your replacement. It's called Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Because Knicks fans own Sixers fans, and Knicks fans once again took over that loser building as we beat them by 49 points.
I don't know if I ever remember a broadcast where it's in Philadelphia where it sounded like that. And even the broadcast, he puts up another 3, Alvarado, and he misses it.
Yeah.
The broadcast was, man, if he hit that one, this place would have erupted. I was like, where are we? Where are we? That was an impressive performance from Alvarado, obviously, an impressive performance from the Knicks, a good bounce-back win, but good way to go into the All-Star break.
Great way to go into the break. Yep. No, but. That is a great way to go into the break.
It's a great way to go into the All-Star. I still have my concerns about the team and the up-and-down nature.
Why? I mean,
I still
why
have
do you
my
have
concerns.
to be that guy?
No, it was a good win.
So
it was a good win.
Can we enjoy not a good win, a great win?
It was a great win.
Philadelphia's a playoff team right now.
Yes.
We went on the road,
dominated,
just like we did in Boston a couple days ago, beat them by 22, flip the script, go to Philly, beat them by 49. You're watching the development of a championship team. We respond to bad games better than any team in basketball right now. That's what we do.
Okay.
So get on the train, kid.
I'm on the train.
Choo-choo!
I tried to tell you yesterday
You're
the
not on the
differences
train.
between the two
Get on
teams.
the train.
I'm on
chugga,
the train.
chugga, chugga, chugga. Choo-choo! Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo-choo! Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the train.
You didn't choo-choo once.
Choo-choo!
It's kind of fugazi.
No?
Kind of fugazi.
I was supposed to
choo-chooing.
choo-choo with you?
Yeah, I'm supposed to get up on that train and go choo-choo! Yeah, chugga, 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 chugga. Choo-choo!
Let's get past the All-Star break.
See,
continue to play this way.
You are a wet blanket.
I'm not on the train just yet.
Wet blanket.
Okay.
You're a wet blanket.
All right.
That's all right. That's
Well, this is
why
how
we
it
work
goes.
well together. Yin, yang.
You dismissed yesterday's loss, or 2 days ago's loss to the Pacers.
because I knew.
And you want to go nuts about this win. I'm excited about it. It was a great win. It was a lot of fun.
I'm not going nuts.
Okay.
I'm keeping it even keel.
Yeah.
That Pacers loss sucks.
You just stood up and made a
Choo-choo.
choo-choo train.
That's right.
Like
Choo-choo.
you're at a Sweet 16.
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Choo-choo! I'm sorry, because this Knicks team does something that your Tom Thibodeau Knicks teams
They beat good teams.
didn't do.
They beat good teams.
We beat good teams on the road. So I know yesterday you tried to make a point. You know, the Tom Thibodeau Knicks wouldn't have lost to the Pacers off the Garden like
wouldn't
that.
have.
Yeah, the Tom Thibodeau Knicks would not have beaten the Celtics by 22 on the road or the Sixers by 49 on the road. We rebound from bad losses better than any team in basketball.
I tried to tell you
That's
all this.
Mike Brown basketball,
I tried
baby.
to tell you this yesterday.
Choo-choo! Thank you.
Is that my choo-choo?
Choo-choo.
I think that's my choo-choo.
That might be yours.
I tried to tell you this yesterday.
What's that?
That the floor is worse, the floor is lower, and the ceiling is higher for this team. That's watching the team. That's how I feel.
To be fair, though, you're basing that new floor on one 10-game stretch.
No, I'm not. I'm basing it on the game against the Pacers. I'm basing it on the idea that in the, a month and a half, a month and a week that we've been doing this show, how many times have we already said, well, it's January regular season NBA basketball. It happens.
Yeah, that's what I say.
We say that once a week, twice a week. We never said that last year with the Knicks. Never. Like
choo-choo.
Choo-choo. That's all I'm saying. I feel like we say that a lot now with this Knicks team.
We got lots to do today. Obviously, Knicks after last night's beatdown of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Steve Tish stuff, which is obviously a much more serious conversation, but I think it's one we just have to have. I'm apparently taking some heat from my colleagues over my brilliant take about suspending LeBron James, which I stand by. I'm also a basketball historian. It seems like these guys here don't like basketball. They won't remember when the San Antonio Spurs got fined $250,000 for sitting guys for no reason, or why the Cavs this year got fined for sitting Donovan Mitchell for no reason.
Is it TV?
So I'm just taking it to the next step, and that is if a player like LeBron James or like yesterday Joel Embiid, they don't want to play, but full well LeBron's playing tonight against the Dallas Mavericks and no Cooper Flag because it's an easier matchup. It's not the Spurs. I think there needs to be a penalty for that. So I suspend the player. Yeah. And that's what I do.
That's a crazy take.
Yeah, well,
I mean, come on, it is. It's about winning a championship, isn't it?
No,
it's not. It's not about winning a championship.
It's not. It's about
It's not about putting the Lakers in the best possible position to be ready and playing their best basketball come May and June.
No,
that's not what it's about.
It is about what's good for me. That's all it's about. I mean, if as the player.
Oh, for
LeBron James
that's
does
not what it's about.
What's good for him.
Oh,
this ain't good for the Lakers. This is good for him.
The Lakers.
This is called stat padding.
No, it's not called.
And then for everyone online that's now attacking me, attack it all you want. If you want to be on your hands and knees servicing LeBron James, if that gets you through your day, I ain't your Huckleberry. I'm giving it to you straight. Joe Dumars called me a basketball aficionado because he recognized his expertise. Mm-hmm. That's what I am. And I'm just giving it to you straight. This is objective basketball coverage. LeBron James is a clown. Joel Embiid is a clown. You don't take days off because the opponent's too tough. You clowns. And every one of you online that's attacking me, you're a bunch of clowns too, sucking up to LeBron James. You're false prophet. You're false king. I ain't that guy.
You're clearly not.
I ain't that guy.
You are clearly
I'll go
not.
toe-to-toe with anybody when it comes to basketball. Because just like Cheech and Chong said, I got a basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones. So, baby, ooh-wee. That's right. I ain't messing around today.
No, I'm sure.
I am not. Curtis Blow. Let's go.
And the 7 people in the audience who got that reference love it. So
did you get it?
Yeah, because we played it before. Because I've worked with you for years. Yes, I'm well aware of it. Because I've had to pull up that dopey song on YouTube. Yes,
I got a basketball Jones. I'm having a good day.
Let's have a good day.
Yeah, 888.
Let's have a good day. Baseball's back. I'm watching videos of Luis Gil strike out Aaron Judge.
Nice.
Let's go.
888-808-1019. It is the Carton Show with Big Mac. We'll squeeze a call or two in here. Steve Tish is obviously a big topic of conversation. And John's in Danbury, Connecticut. Johnny, what's good, kid?
Boys, that's great as always.
Thank you.
This is simple. This is with the Tish thing. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And he and any other individual pursuant to their knowledge or their involvement in this should be criminally, morally, and ethically charged, as in the case of Penn State, where all those pigs were involved too.
By the way, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. And for the last 2 weeks, we've kind of buried it in the sand and pretended like it didn't happen. And then he put out that ridiculously bad statement, which is going to come back and haunt him now.
Absolutely.
Because you can't put out another statement. Your statement that you put out is now your statement of record. And now the new emails that have come out, and apparently there's, I think the number's 409. That's how I think the number I read this morning.
Yeah.
409 emails between Steve Tish and Jeffrey Epstein. And you wanted us to believe that the majority of your conversations were about investments and about philanthropy? Come on now.
Nope.
Come on now,
and I still,
Steve.
And what bothers me the most about it, and what we're seeing now, because I read to you reading the story, that's the one that jumps out at me.
Say it again for people just tuning in.
That Epstein sent him an email after, I guess, soon after they started their relationship, that it's nice to have like-minded friends. right? And he pretty much said the same thing in his statement. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like when he says we had a vast conversation about multiple things.
Yeah.
We talked movies, we talked philanthropy. Like you're indicating a relationship with Epstein.
Correct. That's right.
With Jeffrey Epstein that went beyond what we know in the emails where you are literally grading women to be sent to you.
Correct. He's acting as a pimp.
Yes.
Epstein.
And not only that, we were like-minded friends who had similar interests and built a relationship of over 400 emails.
Correct.
Like, that's, like, I don't know how he comes back from that. I don't know how it got buried for 2 weeks. I don't know how he comes back from it. I don't know how John Mara and the rest of the Giants organization allows this to still be attached to their franchise. I don't understand.
Yeah, and the Giants now, I know the Giants have said there'll be no other comments. Steve Tish spoke for himself. It's a Giants issue. You're a public trust. Your fan base deserves better. Your fan base deserves to know that a guy making the decisions is not the same guy who's making decisions based on a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And that's not me being a bad guy. I'm not picking on the Giants at all. I actually feel bad for the Maras. I feel bad for the rest of the Tish family. I feel bad for the Kochs. Yeah. I feel bad for people that work for the Giants that probably have to deal with this when they go home as well, from their friends and family saying, I can't believe Steve Tish is the guy you work for. Like, imagine being Steve Tish's personal secretary. Imagine what that gal or guy's going through right now. And you're John Harbaugh. Like, it's a fresh slate for Giant fans and for you. And yes, we separate football from this, but the NFL, whether it's the DOJ, the Giants themselves, you got to make this guy go away sooner than later. They're saying you can't let this linger on. You got to cut bait. And that's it. Cut bait. And then he'll handle it with his legal team, and he'll have to figure his own crap out. But you could be a friend behind the scenes, support him behind the scenes. Obviously, I support that. But as one of the faces of the New York Football Giants organization, he's got to go. That's it.
It's going to keep coming. There's going to be more to this.
Of course there's going to be more. Let me walk you through what's next.
They're not stopping this. The email drops are going to continue.
What happens when everyone puts their head in the sand about this, which is what's happened thus far, and one of the at least 4 women that we know about in the emails, that he's talking about in the emails, what happens when one of those 4 gals decides, you know what? I'm now ready to tell my story. What happens when that happens? What happens when one of those gals comes out and tells you about the things that he wanted her to do, right? Then what do you do? Because that's what's happening next.
That's what,
when one of these victims decides that they've summoned up the strength and courage to tell their story publicly, which is a very difficult thing for victims of this type of thing to do historically. When one of these gals decides, I'm ready to tell my story, and that story involves, well, I know my mind goes to a bad place, I'm sure yours does too, with what we think he was into and wanted to do, then what do? Then you better get a defense attorney. Yeah, not just a PR firm, right? No,
I mean, that's what's being discussed at the congressional hearings. Yep. Like it's that they just can't be associated with.
Yep.
Like you just it's very difficult to imagine the Giants wanting to continue to be associated with this.
888-808-119. Lots of hoops, lots of football, and there's a little clause that none of you know about in the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball that I'm going to bring to light today that I think you'll be very interested in. So remind me later, Pete, to put that out there, probably around 4 o'clock or so. A very interesting clause that exists in the collective bargaining agreement in the NFL, the NHL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA that has never been evoked, thank God. But it's an interesting conversation piece that you and I will get into later this afternoon. So we got lots cooking today.